Welcome back to Startup Street. Former Myntra CEO Ananth Narayanan has stepped into a new role as CEO of Medlife. This startup is among the leaders in the online pharmacy space, but it is also strengthening its businesses in doctor consultations and diagnostics. I caught up with the new CEO to know more about the plans to scale up the business, especially as the sector is anticipating new regulations. There are different businesses under Medlife. We all know it for the online pharmacy, but you know, the labs business is growing well. There's a lot of doctor consultations that's happening. If you can just throw up us a little numbers on what kind of consultations you're seeing, what kind of deliveries you're doing.
Sure. So look, we have three lines of businesses. The first is we do online delivery of medicines. People can come into our app, order the medicine, and we have it delivered. Second is we have e-diagnostics, where you book the test online. We have a group of phlebotomists who go, and then the third is consultations. So the pharma is the oldest business of the lot. We've been doing that now for almost 4 years. That's also the largest of our businesses. We do north of 25,000 orders a day. That business is still growing at 6 to 7% month on month. So it's a terrific high growth business, high NPS. We're also the only people who can do both acute and chronic. So we have express delivery in Bangalore now, and we have next day delivery all over the country. So that's a great business. The diagnostic business was started about 6-7 months ago, and it's growing really rapidly. We're growing 400-500% year on year, of course. And there we service about 14 cities. And we have our own labs. We have 5 national labs, about 20 collection centers, and we have the ability. We have 250 phlebotomists, and that's growing really rapidly. And we provide the best NPS in the industry. Our NPS is north of 60, which we feel very good about. And the last business, which is a hidden jewel, is a little bit of the consultation. We have more than 1,500 doctors on panel. We have 50 plus in-house doctors. We actually use this today to complete the consumer journey, but we're also starting to do real at-scale consultation. Okay, all right. So, but can you just tell us what the breakup looks like currently between the pharmacy businesses and the other segments, really? Yeah, so pharmacy is still 70% of our business, and then the rest of it is the others. But the way I think about it is less around the businesses. It's more around consumer journeys. So today, if you think about a consumer journey in digital health in India, there's no real complete journey. So we start with a transaction journey where people are doing tons of transactions, and they're doing transactions in the pharma base. That's a very sticky customer base. I've been in e-com before. Unlike e-com here, I think it's chronic disease patients, right, which is 75%. So the repeat rates and the retentions are very good. Because we have a very high retention base, we said, why not actually provide them diagnostic tests? Why not then provide them consultations, and then so on and so forth? And we're hoping to do many more things in the future by actually leveraging the customer base. So that's what we want to do. We want to build an e-health business. We want to build the largest e-health business in India. And this is one question you may have been asked a lot of times at Myntra, but there are some private labels here as well at Medlife. Can you just tell us, what your plans are with those? Yeah. So we're very excited about the private label business. I think private labels are good for a couple of reasons. We do private labels for non-prescription, and then we do some generics as well. As you know, it provides for affordability, and therefore that's quite important for us, and it provides access and affordability to lots of Indians. That's one big thing that we're excited about. In the non-RX side, we're actually saying, can we create Medlife Essentials into a real brand? Whether it's diabetic powder, whether it's protein powder, whether it's a heart rate monitor, could we actually create a real trusted brand that we can then scale? We believe that eventually is going to be a reasonably large part of our business, and I think we're very excited about it. Right. And Ananth, you come in at a very interesting time in this sector. We are, I think, expecting a new regulation for online pharmacies anytime now. It's in the offing. How are you looking at it? How is Medlife really preparing for that new regulation? So I think we're very hopeful that we'll have a new regulation very soon, which will clarify what the role of the online pharmacy is, how digital prescriptions work, etc. I think our team has been quite involved in the drafting of those regulations, and we're hopeful that the government will actually do this well. The reason I think that's important is I think this is a way of providing access to millions of Indians to actually genuine medication, and we can actually do a digital journey, so we actually digitize the prescription, and so it's really the best thing for the customer. So we're quite hopeful that the government will do this, and hopefully you'll see that shortly. Right. And so you're saying a regulation will actually make things clear, make businesses completely aligned with what they are expected to do. That's great. So tell us now about what are your plans to how do you plan to scale Medlife, and you've done that at Myntra. Any targets that you've set here? Sure. So I think, by the way, I'm very excited about where we are. I think the starting point is even earlier than Myntra, in my view. The market is even larger. So I'll give you a few factoids. By 2024, if you take diagnostics, if you take medicine delivery, and you take consultations, that itself will be a north of an $80 billion business in India, market-wise, right? Online penetration will be less than 2-3%. So we have 10x, 20x growth ahead of us, right? It's a very, very large market.
Right.
So that's one thing to remember. The second thing is, by the way, the consumer base for this is even wider. The classic e-commerce consumer base is a little bit younger.
Right.
Here, I actually went and did deliveries last Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, you
so
did?
It's quite interesting. I did about 20 deliveries. The average age is from 25 to 85. Right? So you have a very wide spectrum of people. Voice, by the way, continues to be a big portion of how we actually do this. So we have an app, we have web, and we have voice.
Right.
All three are important channels for us.
Right.
So I actually feel the market's even bigger. Okay. Now, if I think about where we're going, we want to grow 10x from where we are now.
Okay.
We want to improve our unit economics dramatically because I believe long-term, like I did earlier, I think it's important to grow and to grow sustainably. Right? So I think we're trying to do both those. But probably the most important target I have is best-in-class consumer experience because that eventually is what leads to everything and it makes all of this worthwhile.
It's now time to shift gears.